Hello everyone. Today I am going to discuss the app which I have created in the Android version. This app is an assignment of as a part of the project which is for special topics under Dr. Shaban for summer 2018. The basic feature of my app is to receive and donate blood. So it maintains a database of people who want to receive and donate blood, and um, I would be discussing with the aspects of my app in the first phase of my video, where we will work with the emulator to see how the app will work in an actual Android device with all the restrictions, all the pages, all the information which is available in the app. In the later stage I would be discussing the code, Java code and the XML files which I have created in Android development kit for the app. So we'll start the app. The first screen which will come when I start the app would be the splash screen, and it will show an image of a droplet of blood saying donate blood like this. The basic user would have two options, that will be a donor and a receiver. The donor would be donating the blood by my app and the receiver would be receiving. So they have to provide some information before they do that, so that they will know when to contact whom at emergencies if you need blood. So for example, if I go with donor first, the most important question which I think is necessary for a donor is, why would you like to donate blood, especially if you download an app. So that is the first thing which I have used here as a parameter to check. So uh, a text field where I need to enter the reason why I want to donate the blood. I have another question which says, have you donated the blood previously? If I go without answering this question, we will have a restriction here. I tried to put this wherever it's possible because I want to use all the features of an actual app, how it works. I have used the uppercase and lowercase letters in the option just to see the variety of things which I can do on an app. Suppose if I say yes and go next, it will acknowledge my answers saying thank you for your answers. Then I have a simple form for donor. Now the donor only needs to fill this form and submit, but they have to fill all the data here. Like for example, name, I have to put my name. Age would be just a number, so 2 digits. My options are being gender, male and female. Blood group would be, say, A positive. Phone number has 10 fields, and my address would have a text, so I'll just put my address. So once I do these things, my database will store this information, and whenever I need a blood of my group, the receiver or the officer who is involved in handling the database will contact me and I can use the blood. So I'll just hit the submit button. I am prompted with a dialog box saying, would you like to add as a donor? So if I say no, my data will not be saved, and there won't be any record for me as a donor. But if I say yes, my information will be stored and I will be getting messages, I'll be getting mails in my mail for donation campaigns or for any other kind of activities which goes around for the blood donation thing. So I would say yes, I have been added successfully. Now the first part of my app has to deal with the donor who will donate, who will have to answer some questions, go ahead, fill up a form and do things. The second part is for receiver. Now if I'm a receiver, I would click receiver. I just have to fill a simple form that consists of my name, my age, my address, my phone number, and the purpose of receiving the blood. I just have to click on submit, and like a dialog box was raised for donation, a dialog plus is here for a receiver who wants to raise the request. So if I would say no, it won't store my information, but if I would say yes, it will store, and request has been raised, will contact. So that's the thing which is displayed as a message. We can anytime change the message. So the basic functionalities of my app has been discussed here: how a donor would donate blood and how a receiver would receive. There are many features which could have enhanced in this app. For example, a login feature. Now, I did not use a login feature because I personally don't think that someone needs a password or a user ID just to donate blood. It's a social thing and it's a good thing to donate blood, so we all can do it, and we should not be, there's no need to be in a secretive way to do that. So I haven't added any login feature in my app. Second thing, and the important thing which I have not added, is payment gateway. Now, if it was a commercial app which deals with food products or some kind of grocery, or you can say like whatever, like Amazon, you can say. If it was like that, yeah, a payment gateway is needed. But since my app is just for a social cause to connect people who needs blood during emergency, I do not think I need a payment gateway at this point of time. But yeah, if I think for a broader perspective later on, I might need it for further use, but I haven't added that here right now. Now we'll go with the app coding part. So so here are my drawables, which has the images which I have used. Here are my XML files, and here is my Java files. We will simultaneously deal with the XML and the Java. So first, let's have a look at the activity/.xml. This is the image which I have used. This is the image which is in the drawable. I can show it in here. This is the image. So activity splash just shows a drop with donate blood for like 3 seconds. I have used it in the code. We can change it because I don't think so it's required for more than 3 seconds. After this screen, we land to activity home page, which has donor and receiver. Now, the donor or the receiver, basically the user has to click something to proceed with the touch. So I have used buttons here. There are 2 buttons. These are the details of the buttons. The layout, margin, padding. I personally thought that I should have 2 buttons adjacent to each other, but it wasn't looking good, so I tried to have them above each other, and this is how it looks in the first glance. For example, if we want to see the code for activity home, this is my code, Java code. It deals with the activity home page for blood donor and blood receiver, and it just calls the class of for receiver for donor activity when we do that. So for if I go for receiver, it will call receiver activity. If I go for donor, it will call donor question activity class. So it's according what the user would click. For example, if I click, for example, if I click donor, I'd be going to donor questions. So this is the first screen which comes, and why would you like to donate blood? And I have already done this in the emulator. If I go to an activity donor questions, this is the code for that. I have used radio buttons, I have used edit text. So whatever it takes, I mean, like, it should always have, like, if they answer all the questions, then the user can proceed further. But if they do not answer all the questions, they cannot proceed further. So please answer all the questions, please answer all the questions. I have put the restrictions everywhere, and if they answer everything and if the conditions are satisfied, then thank you for your answers. This is how this question activity will work, and after this they will directly land to activity donor. This is a simple form which I have used with radio buttons, name, text field, numeric for age, blood group, phone and address. So the code for this is donor activity. So as you can see, I have used address, phone, blood group, age. They have to enter all the fields. Would you like to add as a donor is the dialog box which appears uh, when I want to submit my form at the last step, and after that I'll be notified as added successfully, or else no. That's how it works. Now if we come back to homepage activity, I'll go to receiver because donor part has been done. If I go to receiver, this is the simple form which will come for name, age, address, phone number, and purpose of receiving blood. These are text. You can see the details here, all the things which I have done. I will go to the code now. That is the code for activity receiver. So this is the code for activity receiver. That will be name, phone, purpose. Oh, sorry, this is for, I'm sorry. This is for receiver activity. So they have to enter all the fields, and once they do that, they will get a dialog box with would you like to raise a request, and if it's yes, it will be stored. If it's not, it won't be stored. Request raised has been raised with contact. So this is the message which gets displayed if they request, save the request. And this is the overall aspect of my app. Now if we talk about the build grade, what I have tried my best to do here is, if we compare the Android phones and iPhones, I mean, they have definite screen size. They do not have to deal with the resolution issues much as compared to Android phone, as far as my knowledge is concerned, because in Android phone there are variety of phones, cheap phones, expensive phones, and as a good app developer, I think we should know which app will crash in which device and which app will work in which device without stretching the image, without crashing is multiple number of times when we test it or when we use it. So the app should be more user friendly in all the environment for Android, because Android is vast as compared to iOS. So I have tried my level best to put the limitations here, restrictions here, and the range here as it can take, so that overall my app should not crash. I would say that yeah, my app is basic, it's not so enhanced, but at this point of time, um, and as a app developer, and this is my first app which I have created, I have tried to use everything which have been taught to me. I have tried to cover everything. I have had a back button here just to go back if I need, by mistakenly, if I want to become a receiver, and I come to the donor section. I have tried to add the restriction, like if I put a text and then if I do not answer something else, I will not be allowed to go. I have tried to implement radio buttons. I have tried to you know uh, I have tried to make a basic app without much complications. For example, for the receiver section also, a simple form with factors. Yeah, I mean, I can work on it further to enhance the look, but as of now I have tried to have the consistency of color, because it's blood color about the app throughout the app. That's white and red. The buttons used, the parameters, I mean, the, like for example, if I have age as a if I have phone number, like if I have numeric for that, so I can just enter numeric numbers, that to 10 digits only. So I have tried to take care of these things while creating the app. um, the major explanation of my app would be provided in the report which I'm going to submit, with all the screenshots, all the app details, all the fundamental things. But as of now, for the video, I have tried my best to explain everything. The app can like I have tried to implement other features in the app, uh, like should there be a contact scenario, or a screen with other things, but as of now I have not implemented those in my code, so it's not visible in the emulator. But overall, as an aspect of a normal app which can communicate between people for donating and receiving blood. I think this much can be it can satisfy the need at the primary level where big hospital or major doctors are not involved. So rest of the things, whatever is in the video will be detailed and explained in the report which I'm going to submit. um, I have tried my level best to cover everything, and I hope it satisfied the needs of the project. uh, Thank you so much.